finish, let's bow 4 times by following us. Please palms together.
Invocation. On August 27th, the 93rd year of One Buddhist era, the right official of Miami One Buddhist Temple, upon absolution, is solemnly offering this invocation to the Dharmakaya Buddha. Dharmakaya Buddha, the deceased Cornelis Jean DeJong always displayed good nature with wholesome acts, helping many people to be happy while he was in this world. Though Cornelis was not an official lay member of this order, he had acquainted himself with the Buddha Dharma, visiting the temple for over a year. Dharmakaya Buddha, taking into consideration the wholesome root of goodness he planted during his lifetime, and the outstanding dedication of his wife and the common prayers of deliverance of his relatives, wash off the unwholesome karma, if any, in his luminous root with your Dharma power of the true thusness. Direct the path of his soul with the light of wisdom if ignorance blocks it. Dharmakaya Buddha, let him discard wicked views and attain right views. Let him break away from fetters of karma and attain emancipation. And let him return to the Buddha's happy land without entering the evil realm of the sixth path, so that he may not lose the human body throughout all the rebirth, maintaining the affinity of Buddha Dharma, and may accomplish the great task of attaining Buddhahood and delivering sentient beings. I pray with my whole heart with 4 bows. We are finishing the deliverance service for Cornelis, and this is the last deliverance service. And I believe the next life of Cornelis will be a good one. His life was a good one. He never harmed anybody. He lived a wholesome life. Moreover, after his death, Anna, his wife, and all the family have concentrated the prayer for the good future of his life. Therefore, I strongly believe his life will be a good one. The aura of the spiritual power gathered here can be seen by the enlightened Buddha. It's a great one, and that can help the direction of Cornelis. And at this important moment, I will say a few words about self-deliverance. Self-deliverance. In India, at the time of the Buddha, in the mountain called Giridhara-Gutta. Giridhara-Gutta is the head of an eagle. There's a mountain which looks like the head of an eagle, where the Buddha preached and taught, near the town of Rajagraha. Raja means the king, Rajagraha. And there's an old woman who had a son, and the son was like her staff, a cane. She relied on him, his son. However, the son died, and the pain of the mother was great because, as you say, when your son dies or your child dies, you bury the child in your breast. When your parents die, you bury them under the ground. But when your child dies, you bury the child in your breast. You understand? So she felt that she has no meaning of living anymore. So she said she will die without eating beside her son's grave. She made up her mind rather she will die beside her son's grave. Now the Buddha, with compassion and wisdom, saw this. And with 500 disciples, he came to the old woman and said, what's going on? Why are you beside your son's grave? And she explained what happened. She said, since her son, who was like her staff, and since her son died, she cannot live any further, and she doesn't want to live any further. So she said that she will die beside her without eating, fast, and die. So the Buddha said, instead of dying yourself, won't you bring your dead son to life, revive? Of course, the old woman, is it possible to bring my dead son to life? Oh yes, you can. I'll help you. With my Dharma power, I can do it. But there's a condition. I need a fire from a house where nobody has died. Just go out and find a house where nobody has died, and you bring fire from that house. If you bring the fire from the house where nobody has died, then I'll revive your son. Oh yes, oh Lord, I'll do that. And the old woman went out and tried to find a house. She asked tens and hundreds of houses, whole day, and all the same answer. No, my ancestors died in this house. My father died in this house. There was not a single house where nobody died. So she came back in vain and said to the Buddha, no, I couldn't find a single house where nobody has ever died. I thought so. Nobody lives forever. Everybody comes and lives for a while and dies. That's the laws of nature. So don't you think you are in a delusion? Some kind of, you are deluded, thinking that there's no meaning of living without your son, and also you hoped that your son will live forever. Don't you think it was a delusion? And the old woman was enlightened to the truth of birth and death, life and death, and so on, and started chanting Namo Amitabha. So that's the story of an old woman who hoped that she should revive her dead son, but there's no way. Now, I just said that I'm going to talk about the self-deliverance. When somebody dies, and there's no one who does not die, somebody dies, then we have this ritual, deliverance service. However, the best way to be delivered is by self-deliverance. How can you achieve that great task of delivering yourself from falling into the unwholesome path of the hellish world, hungry ghost, and the beast world?